Hello everyone, Darren here, and welcome back to Cities Skylines. Now allow me to give you the politician's view on how things have been progressing lately. In the last episode, I expanded our agricultural industry, providing jobs to hundreds of our citizens, and we've been spending your tax money wisely. We've invested that money into some more eco-friendly solutions that we can all benefit from. We're now emptying out the previous administration's disgusting landfill into our two brand new recycling centers, providing, again, more jobs for everyone. This is going to clean up the surrounding area, allowing for a quiet new avenue to be built on the edge of town, a perfect place to raise a family. We've decommissioned one of our coal power plants as part of our green energy initiative and replaced it with a cleaner, more efficient power plant, again, providing more jobs than the old plant used to. We've also reduced our wastewater by moving it further downriver and given it a new filtration eco-water outlet to reduce our footprint on the great waters around us. The rivers are so clean, I don't start my day without a morning dip. So today, the plan is to continue to build up our population and expand our infrastructure to support them. With the influx of more people, I expect we're going to need our first implementation of public transport, buses. So let's begin. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the burgeoning town of Swords. We're really starting to sprawl across the river, which is pretty cool. Speaking of, I have made a grave error. And that is that I've expanded this area out and I accidentally deleted the footage. This was going to be a time-lapse, so I had it all recorded, time-lapsing this and doing some other little minor details in the town, in the business park, and a few other things. And I lost the footage. I'm basically cleaning up my PC, or I had been just recently, because it's been making some noises lately, and I was worried that the cooler might pack up. And if I ended up breaking down or losing something, I just thought I should back up everything, and at the same time, I decided to delete things I didn't think I'd need. And the footage was part of that. So, could be worse. I could have deleted a whole episode or something. I didn't, but I just thought I should really quickly show off this area. So effectively, it's just, you know, continuation of the similar sort of road network that we've got going on. A little bit more sporadic, less grid-like than it was here, towards more the commercial district in the center, the kind of this part of the town, I guess. And the reason for that is I just wanted more residential estates, and then wanted to make sure they could all get out onto the 4-lane road in a reasonable fashion without too much distance traveled. And that just meant also making sure that the 4-lane road had a lot of distance between the different junctions. You don't want to bunch them up too much, otherwise it sort of defeats the purpose of having a 4-lane road if everyone's stopping all the time at various junctions and things. I'm just seeing that there are trees growing through this road as well. But that's pretty much it. So we can get into the gameplay now properly. And let's just get rid of that tree that's bothering me there and there. Sometimes I forget to turn on that collision thing when I'm building these things out. Also, just really quickly, I had asked in the previous episode if I'm building something like, such as another one of these, and I want to put it down. It doesn't let me, right? But if we activate Anarchy mode, it does. Now, I thought Anarchy mode was just for roads. Turns out it's buildings as well. So that's quite interesting. Good to know. Don't really have the need to do that just yet, and it's a little dangerous in case pathfinding gets a little screwy, but at the moment, we're totally good. But it's good just to know what that was. I thought I should address that as well. Anyway, let's do a little bit of a recap as to the current situation, and maybe give these guys some water, because they're thirsty. There you go. So yeah, the current situation. Some people had asked, you know, maybe slow down just a little bit and explain some of the game mechanics for anyone who is new to the game. So effectively, the current situation is we're at 5,000 population, $36,000 in the bank. We're only marginally making money, although you'll know, of course, that it's fluctuating up and down wildly. But mostly, it's positive. We're obviously making money over time. I don't think we owe any money, do we, right now? Or do we? I do. I'm paying off 2 loans, actually. Yeah, sorry. It was the last one where we took those ones out. And we're storing up different goods that we're making. So we've got 16 tons of unique factory products that we can choose when we want to ship. I like doing that just so I can control when I see the big jump. And people were pretty enamored with 50k just coming into the bank suddenly, which was pretty cool to see. So it's good to see that that works, and that is behaving as intended. So really quickly, if we were just to have a look at our zoning situation, of course this is now all residential out here. And we just added in this new residential area here. We're emptying out the landfill. Some people were like, oh, you forgot to delete the landfill. You can't delete it until you empty it. It's 37% full. It's full of garbage. So we have to empty it out. So trucks and garbage trucks are taking that now to the recycling center. We can actually see that right here. So it's heading to the recycling center, which is obviously all the way across town in our business park. So that's been filling up our traffic, actually, because it's got 15 trucks in use pretty much all the time, just going all the way out there constantly. So it's just one of those other things that, you know, is filling up our roads effectively, along with the postal service and things like that. Alright, so we just crossed over 5,000 actually right as I started recording. And it just built up really quickly. There's a reason for that. It's because I'm using the realistic population mod. And in this mod, you can actually set how many people live in a particular house. So if we look at this house here, it's really big. You could say that it's not just one household, it's multiple. Now, I don't agree with that. This is one household as far as I'm concerned. But you could probably make a case for something like this that has maybe 2 doors going in the front. Maybe it's partitioned somewhat, but most likely not. It just seems like a villa, effectively. But there was a few that didn't have the correct info in them. So for instance, when I started the game, I saw this one immediately and made sure it said 2 households, because it's definitely 2 households stitched together. And as we've leveled up our land value, houses are building up and becoming nicer and becoming bigger a lot of the time. And some of the models look like they have 2 houses in there. So I had to go in the last episode, just quickly flick through some of these houses and see, for instance, like this one. This is 2 houses, so I updated that. And that gave us a boost to population, probably about 200 or 300 just straight away. But that is just mod stuff that you don't really have to concern yourself with. So effectively in here I go override population. There's 2 homes as far as I'm concerned. I update, I click save, and then that's it. You never have to do it again. So once it's done once, it's set for life. And I went through a few of the other models that we'll be getting later down the line to do the same thing. And it just updates all of them, even if they have different color variations or whatever. So quite good. So that just meant we got a little population boost sort of for free. A higher density of the houses that we currently already have. Is it getting to be nighttime or something? It seems like it's quite late. Oh yeah, it's 6 o'clock. Well, we'll just speed up time right now then, while we talk through some of these things, because it's actually a good timing, because I wanted to go through some of the infographics. So we can have a look. Here's our power situation. So power availability is teetering on the edge. It's getting kind of low, which is why I didn't delete the other I made that mistake last time as well. The other power plant. I haven't deleted this one just yet, or decommissioned it, because we had put a new one in, but I decommissioned an old one, and these make only marginally more power than we had before. So we'll put another one in soon, but it is a lot of money, so we'll have to just wait until we build that up a bit. Next is water. Our water availability is good. You know, we've got room for a little bit more. We've added in the 2 wastewater eco outlets here, and if we want to just really quickly check pollution, we can see that pollution is already starting to kind of fade away downstream, so that's good. It'll take a little while, but give it a couple years in game and that should relatively clean out. Now we are still producing pollution, but it should even thin out even from this color here. I think it'll fade a little bit given some time, and there's other solutions we can do to try to reduce that further later down the line when we unlock them. Inland water treatment, that kind of thing. You can end up just polluting the ground around you in a specific area if you want, similar to what our industry is doing right now anyway. Alright, so next thing we'll have a look at is maybe education. So education, we have 470 eligible kids for elementary school. We currently have 450 for high school. University, there's actually 800 people eligible to go to university, and we don't have one, but we can't build one yet. And then there's public library, which we don't have, but I was considering getting one here, although it remains to be seen if we really need that. Traffic-wise, we're doing great. I've made sure to turn off in the mod TMPE that we're not despawning any traffic. This is the natural traffic in the game. Seems to be doing pretty good. It's, you know, it's got some busy areas, but it's all free-flowing, nothing standing still just yet. And like I said, now's about the time we'll probably have to start thinking about public transport to take the pressure off this road, for instance. But it's a busy road. A lot of people are using it to get to the commercial district, which is over here. And we've been talking a little bit in the comments about why I'm not growing commerce very much. In the base vanilla game, you grow commerce pretty quickly. Or you'll need a lot compared to residential. And you'll need a lot more industry as well. Like, in total, we have, I'd say, maybe 5 times more residential than you would otherwise have for the amount of commerce and industry. But that's just the way this mod works. It's low density for living until we get to that high density residential. And then it flips the other way, where instead of just having 10 people in like a big apartment high-rise, we're going to have like 60. So it's going to flip the other way completely, and we'll have to really manage high density residential in terms of moving people around a lot more significantly. But it's the inverse at the moment, where we have to sprawl out at first before we can get to that stage. Alright, so education's looking good. Happiness. Average happiness seems to be about 73 to 75% when we're looking at residential and commercial. Industrial happiness is through the roof. I couldn't actually tell you exactly what's making them super happy. As long as they have services, I think it says that they become happier around them. And then it's traffic and they get the goods that they want, things like that. So I think that's really what's doing it. Does it tell me any more? Not really. I'm sure you can look into it. We don't really need to. It's all fine. Noise pollution. Obviously, our commercial district, our busy roads, and our industrial districts are providing the most noise pollution. That lowers the land value for people living nearby. If the land value goes lower, they pay less taxes and the houses don't upgrade, I think, as quickly. Now, it does say education upgrades them, but I think it's also a combination of land value, I think. If I'm wrong on that, let's just say it's education. Population metrics, how we're doing so far. So we can see here that we overall have 5,183 population. The dark houses are seniors. So we've got a lot of seniors here, which is where we first grew a town. But as they start to trickle away and we get new people moving in, they'll sort of replenish and start all over again, the process. But we sort of had to just keep expanding to kind of start a rotation, as it were, of young adults to older seniors and stuff like that. Now, if we get a senior center, I think it prolongs the life of seniors longer. And if we set up like metro buses and things like that, seniors still actually have a lot of money to spend. They go into commercial centers like almost every day, and they'll be spending their money there and stuff. Even though they don't work, they still do provide you some money back over time, which is good. Land value, which we were just talking about. So obviously around here we have our sort of commercial zone, right? We have our services. People like to be close to services, like a medical clinic is usually a good thing. I guess it's not necessarily a good thing to be close to a police station or a fire station. Maybe police station actually, but not necessarily a fire station. That can be kind of loud. But in-game, I think it all just treats it the same. It's like, yeah, this is great to be near. And it's great to be near the plazas, the restaurants, things like that. So people love to be near this place. And this has already been zoned commercial. So that feeds back to what I was going to say a minute ago, which is we do have zoning coming in. It's just commerce coming in. It's just really slow. Now, people were saying that it might be a bug that you're not getting anything. I ran some tests just to be sure on that, and it does seem like it will come in. It's just very slow compared to what we're used to. Also, the fact is that I have areas still zoned that we're waiting on filling up, even out here. So it'll just fill in when the demand is there. As we get more and more people moving in, upgrading their houses, willing to spend more money, the demand for spending that money in commerce will grow, especially as they have to go further and further out to get to it. So I have no doubt as we start zoning in this area, which you might as well just start doing now, we'll start to see that demand increase. So let's just begin with this area here. Fill that out. And yeah, maybe it'll fill in towards the north a little bit more. Just kind of zone all up along this road. We're going to fill this whole place in, but I'd like to do it kind of organically. That way the power lines grow with the town, as it were. I like to leave the junctions free, just in case. Just, I don't know, just helps with traffic a little bit. As people leave their houses, they're not leaving on a junction. Alright, so we'll wait for these people to move in. There is demand for them, and there's demand for more industry. So let's just increase our industry as well. We'll plug these gaps. I've been thinking about bringing the road in by one, because we've got a gap between the factories here, and it'd be nice to join the two recycling centers back to back if we could. But yeah, in terms of how things work in the game, I think I've pretty much covered it. I don't think there's anything left to question, you know? We're making good money, population's rising, we're trying to keep our people happy by making sure all these different things are good, you know, we're increasing land value, increasing education, happiness overall. The natural resources, of course, we have our fertile land and a lot of forestry. We could set up a forestry business if we wanted to. Might do that as we expand our tiles further out. Don't really feel the need to do it right now. And the reason you do that is you could maybe combine the goods that we're making in our agricultural industry with the forestry industry. And then if there's certain unique factories that make use of, for some reason, animal products mixed with something that the forestry business produces, then you can combine them in a unique factory and make a lot of money. And that's what our bakery is doing, although it is just kind of all comes from one industry. But we had seen that if we had oil industry, for instance, we can combine plastic with some animal products, and we can make, for instance, like, what was it, lemonade and things, and sell it in glass bottles. That's the ore industry, I think. So bad example, but you get the idea. All right, love the historical and hashtag old buildings in our town. Yeah, so I've marked one building as historical. This one, it's Rosie and Darren's. This is where me and my girlfriend live. So you mark it as historical, it won't get overwritten. So if it levels up, it won't change. Maybe I'll let it change in future, I don't really mind. But it's just, I can easily spot it. It seems to be pretty unique amongst all the houses out there at the moment. So it's a good one to just keep an eye on. Okay, so now that a little bit more money is just piled up, we should start to do some different things with it. So I was just quickly checking over my to-do list of things that I planned. Oh, by the way, you can see people moving in. Uneducated senior. Sightseeing tourist, actually. Driving to the sidewalk cafe. That's true. So the cafe area in this district over here overall actually attracts tourism. Only a little bit. But later on, when we build up parks and things, we might be able to get more tourists to come in. Just generally to see the sights. So electricity availability. This is all good for a little while, but we'll have to save some of our cash for doing that. But I think what I'd like to do is expand out the industrial park. So let's get going. So we'll grab this. Grab a regular industrial road here. Make sure we follow the terrain. Don't need to do anything else with it, I don't think. And it can be built fairly grid-like at the beginning here. So just go pretty much all the way out to the edge of the road there. We're cutting power lines to do this. Just come down a little bit right there. Okay, and yeah, this can just go straight down. And we can maybe fit a little bit more into the side. Not really. Barely. This would make more sense, I guess. Alright, something like that. Now, if we upgrade our road here, might be a little tricky to do, but turn off the zoning. We'll get more zoning in on this side. Yeah, there we go. So that's what we want. No need for zoning on that. Alright, cool. Business park is expanding. Now, there was a fence going through here. Oh, it looks like I did delete it. Okay, that's good. So, also someone pointed out that the fence... So, the fences has a little top bit to it that bends over, obviously to prevent people climbing over. And it was facing the wrong way. I have corrected it. So, thank you for that. I didn't notice it, actually. It was correct on the back half, but not on the front. It just depends which way you start laying it out. So, speaking of fence, we'll just get rid of this now. I'll build that out further when we need to. Alright, let time play, and we can start zoning. Get some people in here for their jobs. Zone all this. It's done a little bit of a weird thing there, but whatever. I'm sure it's not a problem. Alright, cool. So more people are going to move in, and then we'll just keep zoning more residential. We get a bit more aggressive with it now. Now, I'll have to put pathways down. Actually, I didn't do that either. And we need to give them their extra water. So let's do that. Let's turn off the grid and just pave it out. Might just start this along the route here. And then we'll fill in the gaps where it makes sense. Normally when I used to play the game, I would just do a big grid that covers the whole city really evenly, but I think there's something to it about doing it like organically. It's kind of nice because you look back on it and it's like a web that's kind of moved out, you know. I like that. But obviously it is less efficient. You're spending much more money on pipes than you would otherwise need to, really. But there's something kind of cool about it. The realistic nature of it. Alright, good enough. Just this little spot in here, maybe. Nice. Alright, cool. We've also added water into this place over here, so these guys have all just moved in fresh off the boat, fresh off the motorway. 30% full. Yeah, so they should just be emptying it. I don't think any of the garbage trucks will bring garbage in there. But they're just going to keep making trips to the recycling center. Now, the recycling center might actually be pretty full now, because we're emptying pretty rapidly. But what we can do is turn this off. And then, hey, they're loving that. They're like, thank you. So we'll turn that off for a while. Let the recycling centers process some of their garbage. And once the numbers come down a bit, then we'll turn it back on, keep emptying it out. You don't have to do that manual control, but it's kind of nice to at least declutter the traffic for a bit. Oh, speaking of traffic, we need to adjust the type of things that happen in here. So, we're going 60. Just make sure we do that. Always forget to do that. Our vacation was extended. Dexter Gray. Well, lucky for some. Okay, so we have crosswalks there. I would say we don't need crosswalks absolutely everywhere. And I'm not just talking visually. I'm talking functionally. And then what we could do is use our node controller and actually just put down a gap here. And there's a crosswalk for people to cross over if they need to. I know it's very micro-intensive, but I don't know. It's nice to pay attention to the details sometimes. So people can walk across. Yeah, they can go where they need to. This is fine, right? And then maybe just one more. Somewhere in here. What we could do, actually, is copy that pathway over so that they can just get straight over here. We could. I suppose what might be nicer is to avoid the zoning. Let's go more like that, so around it. Yeah, we can see people using the path that I put down this way. So how are we doing? We've stored up to 48 tons of unique factory products, and of course we'll just sell that to make bank when we need to. I can see little blue chimes everywhere. New people are moving in all the time. That's good. New people moving in all the way back here. I guess so. Alright, cool. Yeah, let's just speed up time then. It's getting nighttime again. Getting late. We have a look at our industry and how it's going. So we're currently up to 419 out of 650 workers. We're at a 4-star farm now. Making good money. The excess crops are being sold. The excess flour is even being sold, which I'm surprised by. Don't we, oh wow, yeah. We have a lot stored up. That's good. Fill it. Just fill it to the brim. That's great. Yeah, we have 4 flour mills. You know what that means? It means that we can click our bakery and increase that production rate. If we're selling crops and we're selling flour, why not go up to 150% production rate and make more pastries faster? What that will need is more animal products. The only 2 animal products we make are in the cattle sheds, but we have unlocked, I think, the slaughterhouse, which provides even more. Now, you could get a milking parlor. That provides animal products too, technically. Might make more sense for pastries, although I suppose you could have meat in pastries. So this is going to be producing 4,800 units per week, a slaughterhouse. The milking parlor is 4,000 units per week. 240 water, 640 energy. 240 water, 480 energy. So less energy, more animal products. 85 workplaces, 70 workplaces. Upkeep 192. The upkeep overall is less, but it takes more energy. I think we should go with the milking parlor. Why not? Stick one in somewhere like right there. Oh, even actually in here would be good. We can pop it here for now. I can extend the range out, but I think just for now, next to the other flour mills is totally fine. And it's pretty close to some of the crops here. So there we go. So it's going to provide 70 new jobs. Crops are filling up instantly. They're making their animal products. It's going to be a little heavy on the energy. Energy is going to be dipping tonight. Actually, we can see that already. You can see our lovely lampposts as well. Oh man, it looks really cool. I don't know why, but that just looks really cool to me. And to see some of the tractors out at night. Nice. We put these in ourselves, these lampposts. Nice, cool. Alright, yeah, so maybe then we'll need more electricity. So I think it's time to get that other coal power plant up and running. We just pop another one right down here. By the way, so you can relocate buildings, yeah? And it does cost you money, but you can also cheat and use a mod to just move the buildings. I'm aware of that. I have weird rules in my head about what I like to do and what I don't like to do. I don't like to cheat to save money in the game. I'll move things a little bit to make it look nice or whatever, but I'm not doing it to save money. If I need to move a building because I didn't plan accordingly, that's different. So, but yeah, I would say just put another one here rather than building another one. I also was hoping to put the bus depot down here. How big is it? It's actually pretty big. Although we do have all this new area out here for maybe another coal power plant. Maybe we'll do that instead. So let's just copy and paste this one. Pop one right out here. Why the hell not? 35,000. Boom. That's a lot. Will be good to get our own ore industry up and running so we can provide our own coal. That saves a decent amount of money. Yeah, having them not next to each other actually kind of breaks it up. I know logically it would make more sense to maybe put them right together, but I think it's kind of cool having them separated. Just because you don't see a copy-paste building. Alright, they have their water. How's water doing, actually? So water availability is... Electricity is pretty much fine now. 72 out of 124. So what would happen if I turned this off? Bonk. Give it a sec. There we go. So we settle down again at 71. So at nighttime, we're kind of... It feels like at nighttime I need to turn this on. So what we could do, actually, just even temporarily, is increase the budget at nighttime and see how we get on with that. So I'm going to decommission this place now and say see you later. So people are going to be happy with that. Let some extras move in. Let's check the... where are these guys going? Responding to the forest residents. Oh my god, they've just moved in and there's something wrong with them. I think if they live close to pollution, they have a higher chance of being sick. So that could be what's happened. Just one adult living in there. Alright. So what's next on the agenda? I had increasing water, electricity, and sewage. So yeah, sewage and water I guess we need more of. Might as well just pop that down now, because it's going to be needed in the future anyway. So another one at the lake I think is fine. And to save on a little bit of cash, because it's going to be more than we need, we can bring that number down a bit then, I think. Probably, let's say to 85. So water availability still super high, but we're going to be just moving a bunch of people in, so I don't want to be too micromanagey with it. Let's just start expanding again. Now, if you, speaking of micromanagement, maybe we could do this. So we'll say zoning on one side of the road. We'll copy this road. So I'm seeing nice big plots of land here, but these ones are a little weird and truncated. So if we switch this to say zone only on that side, we get better house along here. We lose a bit on that side, so it's a little, You can put more nodes down if you really want to get granular with it, I guess. This one might be okay. I wonder what would happen if we did it sideways here. Oh, the other side, sorry. So get that instead. Yeah. That kind of gave us the least amount of small weird ones, so let's go with that. Same sort of situation there, but I feel like I could play around with that for a long time. So we'll just get the ball rolling. All right. Let's do this one next. Nice big chunks right there. Cool. All right. Fresh new faces. So we have a demand for industry. We have extra zoning out here, so... Oh, did I not zone any of this? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Oh, I think I did. Yeah, oh yeah, it was these ones. That's what it was. And some of them actually require workers, so maybe I shouldn't go too crazy with the zoning just yet. We have to let them fill up a bit. Ah, you've got problems with wastewater. Really? Sewage treatment isn't the best. We need another eco outlet already. Alright, let's do it. Hopefully we have enough money for it. Oh, it's only 4,000. Oh, that's nothing. The upkeep is kind of high, actually, I remember. But yeah, that's not too bad. Thought it'd be worse than that. Alright, so 3 big eco water outlets. We'll see this thing turn on in a second. Water looks fairly clean coming out. There we go. If you have too many, if I recall correctly, if you've got loads of these together, the water actually rises. You're actually pouring physical water in. So let's have a look at the pollution situation. Oh, wow. It's already cleared up. Oh my god, that was pretty quick. That was really quick. I thought it would take like a couple of years. You know, it took about 6 months, maybe, for it to kind of clean up the river almost entirely. And then, yeah, we're left with a kind of more faded area here. Obviously, all that brown water is just out there now, but it'll slowly democratize as it blends further and further into the water. That will take a while, though. But yeah, hey, busy town. I wasn't even tracking it. 5,500 population. There we go. We've now unlocked further city planning policies. You can emphasize certain features in your city or districts with city planning policies. So these will be specific. We'll have a look at them in a minute. Level 4 unique buildings, leisure and tourism unique buildings, sightseeing bus tours, and a trolley bus. We can now do oil. We have tourism specialization for commercial districts. So if we want to make a commerce district, which actually we just made one, that's perfect. I didn't even know you could do that. So that's pretty cool. We'll do that in a minute. I've never done that before, though. Free public transport as a policy. If we want to let people just get the bus for free to really lower the amount of traffic we have, we can do that. Got loads of little things in here. Banning heavy traffic, stopping heavier vehicles moving in. We have that functionality anyway with one of the mods we're running, so we've always been able to do that. Filter industrial waste. Zoned industrial buildings need to filter their waste, making them pollute the grounds a lot less. We don't need to do that because they're pretty far away from people. Combustion engine ban. Only electric cars. Everyone living in the policy must switch to an electric car if they own any car. It's $2 per vehicle per week. That could be a lot. A workers' union. Yeah, I'll have to look through some of these. A lot of them are new to me. So we got new roads, looking good. Lots of interesting things like bus-only lanes. Bus-only one-way highway with a bus lane. Interesting. Bus lanes with nice trees going through them. And there we go again. Two-lane avenue with bus lanes. What is this? This is interesting. Asymmetrical 3-lane highway with sound barriers. Don't really get the symbol there, but that's interesting. 2 lanes going in one direction, 1 lane going the other. That makes sense, but it actually has the symbols for when it merges, I guess. That's kind of cool. Alright, buildings. Police headquarters, gardens, fire stations, oil power plant, fishing piers, jet skis, bus station, hospitals, fishing tours, and marina. See, this is why it's perfect timing, because we've just moved out to the coast. We're getting there. A skate park. Someone actually commented asking for a skate park. I didn't know they were in the game. Restaurant, pier, beach volleyball, helicopter fire depot. We can actually now protect against forest fires. Oh my god, look at all the stuff we have, guys. There's so much stuff. Alright. Our town is quickly becoming a real city. It is, yeah. What's it listed as now? A busy town. Next up, big town, 7,500. We might get pretty close to that. And we'll get another 2x2 kilometer area. We'll get this area here, and then we can really, really bring up, like, build a unified kind of idea here. Now, it's mostly water, to be fair, but we can build out this whole area, start making use of some of the coast here. Build a couple bridges across, and our oil industry then can be built out at sea now that we've unlocked that. Oh, yeah. Offshore drilling, let's go. Alright, how's traffic? Now that we've brought in some more people. Oof, yeah, we are busy on this road. So they're being told to yield for the oncoming traffic here. But as this road gets busier and busier, they have to wait longer and longer, I think. Still relatively free-flowing, so I'm not too concerned, but it looks like traffic lights are in order for this place soon. But we'll see when we get the buses if this gets reduced. Alright, money-wise, how are we doing? Good. And here we are up to 64 tons. We'll wait till we get near 80 or 100 again before we sell it for big money. Big gains. Farms are doing good. How many people are working that milking parlor? 24 out of 70. So we're in need of jobs. Big time. Educated jobs. You know what? I think it's time. Let's go with the public library. It's a cultural institution which collects and stores books, films, newspapers, documents, and much more. Library gives a small bonus to education within the building's radius. 22,000. There we go. So across from our sidewalk cafes and our plazas and our services, hey, new commerce buildings are popping up. There you go. Now I was just saying that we could set if we turn on districts, this district could have a policy. I think, is it for city planning? I'd have to go look where this is. No rebuilding. Interesting. Yeah, just to see exactly where that is, where you can say the commercial area. No, you know what? Let me see what it said in here when we unlocked it, because it was pretty high up there. So city planning policies, new commercial specializations, tourism specialization. Commercial specializations, there it is. Tourism specialization dedicates the commercial zones to serve the tourists by providing hotel accommodations, restaurants, and other activities. It causes noise pollution, but it attracts tourists. So you could build that, a little zone in here, on the commercial district area if I wanted to be tourism focused. Maybe in the future, but I think for now it's okay. But it's just good to know that that's in there, because this is like a tourism building, and so is this technically. The plaza's not so much, I guess. So what do we have? Go Nuts Donuts has been advertised here. Natural and fresh meat. We've got a pharmacy. It's already level 2, and that's employing people as well. 42 out of 42 visitors. Yeah, it looks like there's a demand for commerce. Nice to see. What about out this way? One building has grown since we last looked, and these 2 plots are still kind of empty, and so is this one. Okay, so we're filling commerce. It is happening. Money's good. Love seeing it, and lots of people are moving in. It's going to put stress on our transport system, though. This is why we'll have to do buses very, very soon. Yeah, why not? Alright, cool. Did people move in up here yet? They have. This one actually could stay there. If it's a 2x2, that'd be okay. Nice. All right. Things are feeling and looking good. So public library, it's on 400 a week upkeep, but we're making more money all the time. So I'm obviously staying ahead of our budgets in terms of all these services and buildings we're putting on. More eco water outlets. All these things are costing us money over time, but it looks like we're totally fine for it. Have you lost your wallet? I found a black leather wallet. In the US alone, 2.5 million plastic bottles are thrown out every hour. Hashtag recycle and reuse. Yeah, good stuff. I love libraries. Finally, I have unrestricted access to information from many different sources. Yeah, man, I is gonna have a spliff now and take it easy. Hashtag it's legalized. THC, aim high. Just realized our district needs to be painted out further. So, for those who don't know, districts are just a way to assign kind of modifiers and policies to people that live within them. That's all a district is. So our current policies here, we've got 2. We have recreational use, which is why we had that tweet from that guy who's loving life, and then school's out. But we could also maybe tell people or tell them to recycle more. Slightly reduce garbage accumulation and slightly reduce tax income. Why would I have less tax income from telling people to recycle? I guess that's just the way it is. But yeah, let's do that. Less garbage for a while. We could always turn that off in future. Garbage reserve 71,000 and 76,000. We can pile on the traffic again. Let's open up the landfill. So they're still emptying, so we should see a bunch of just garbage trucks come out now. There we go. I've told them to be the bigger ones. Not that it makes any difference, I just think it'll look cooler. I want to follow this journey, if people don't mind. We'll speed up time a bit. I just want to see what it's like, you know, getting to the recycling center from this side of town. It's quite the journey to go. Now, I just noticed something straight away. It's always good following these. The speed limits are different. It's 60 there, but it's 40 here, so we just caught that. Let's keep it 60 for this outer kind of road. So this is normal speed, remember, so this is kind of like the natural driving pace. People are walking at a pretty normal speed. As you can see here. Old man with his little cane. Bunch of old men, actually. 1, 2, 3. A lot of seniors in this area. So that's interesting, right? To get to the recycling center, they're deciding to go along this road rather than go onto the arterial. Because you think if you took that down here, take that up here, you'd get there way faster. So I wonder, can I make them do that? You know, I can't ban them from going along this road. They're garbage trucks. But why wouldn't you want to take the better... Why wouldn't you want to take the, you know, this road? It just seems like that is the way to go. If anyone knows how I could make them do that, let me know. Because I don't know how I do that. Because ultimately, I could ban them, but we need them to go along these roads. They're garbage trucks, so... I would have thought they'd prioritize that as a faster road, generally. I wonder, is the game calculating it and saying, like, no, we'd get there faster if we just go this way. But the traffic must be so high that I don't see how that would pan out. Now whoop, sorry. The game totally froze for a second. So 80 kilometers an hour. What's your speed in here? 60. So you're going to take a 60 road all the way up here. You're turning into an estate, driving along the estates, and then out back there. Or out this way. It's so messy. Vehicle restrictions. Yeah, can't be restricting them. That wouldn't make any sense. You could... yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. You can restrict vehicles, I think, and say, like, we don't want trucks there. But service vehicles, like garbage, I think has to go this way. But it would be good to take away the high... like some of these trucks and tell them, like, no, you shouldn't be there anywhere here, really. This is all residential. You should only be in the commercial and these arterial roads, and we could clean up traffic a lot that way, I think. So I might go over some of that myself. Let's continue to follow. Where did you come from as well? One of the factories. They're on their way back out. Yeah, let's just do that now while we have a little bit of time. So, vehicle restrictions. It's just there's so many segments to edit. And can I turn this on at the same time? I can't do this at the same time. So, the things we'd have to plan is effectively that here is commerce. So trucks do need to get into there. They can totally go up this way and get onto that main road here. This main road is totally fine. It's like all the other roads that I need them to not be on, but that would take so long to detail all that, like vehicle restrictions. You'd have to click like here, say no trucks, and then shift click it so it does it for the whole street, but it ends at whatever next junction is. So I suppose if I was trying to be smart, I could just try to figure out the routes that they are taking that shouldn't be doing that right now. So for instance, this would be a good one to say that to. So if I've blocked this road from truck access, and maybe this one, that should prevent a lot, just even temporarily going this way, right? They should hopefully opt to take this road, because they can't get out to get to their commerce area. They'd have to go the other way. So hopefully that works. It's just trucks as well. I don't think it affects postal vans. It's not a city service vehicle. And it's not a garbage truck either. So we'll see how that goes. Test it out. It's a lazy fix. Like in between episodes, I don't mind going through every road. I'll just pop on a podcast and do that and bang it out in 10 minutes. But I don't want to do it during the episode. Alright, we're up to 48,000. How much have we stored? 80 tons. We're getting close. Should we wait till 100 and see how much we make? Maybe 100 would be a nice number to hit. It's about to be nighttime again. What's the city doing? Vitals-wise, electricity is getting low yet again. We almost need another power plant again. What other options do we have for power? We have that oil plant now. Take advantage of natural oil and use it to power your city. It creates heavy pollution. I think we'll do another advanced coal power plant then, if that's going to be the case. 56 output. This is 120. Damn, it is, it's tough going green. Could do some wind turbine stuff, but... And this is a combination wind and solar, but there's not really much area for us until we get out to the ocean. That was my plan for wind. So yeah, let's just go with another advanced coal power plant then. I think we kind of have to. We'll put these ones next to each other, I guess. See if we can rotate it at a different angle. So those two are kind of one unit, and then this one's like a different unit out this way. Alright, it's 3 coal power plants. We could bring the budget down to those. Back to 100, see how we handle it. Seems totally fine. 69 out of 168. Let's go down to 75. That's a bit better. That's where I like it. Alright, cool. Place is looking nice. I think we'll start to need lights and things like that in here. Or, yeah, traffic lights and stuff. So, my plan for this road was to make it a 4-lane road, but not a wide one. I actually want to keep the houses intact and stuff for now. So, if you were to build a regular medium road, you destroy the houses. And I think there's a mod that prevents that, but I don't know what it is. It doesn't really matter anyway. I don't really want to do that. So in order to avoid destroying these houses and collapsing them in and all that, I think what I want to do is just make this a 4-lane road. It'll be a little noisier for it, but it'll work. And what we could do straight up is go with the bus lane. That's a one-way version. We'll put a bus lane on both sides. 4-lane road with bus lanes. Alright, let's begin. So, a nice long straight road will be like along here. That I think would be a good one to do. Create a bus lane for them to get through quickly. I just realized, oh my god, I'm destroying the houses because I didn't have zoning on. That was a close one. Put them back. Please don't delete. Hopefully they're okay. Anyway, our roads are in. Just about. Alright, let's continue. So now the zoning is correct. Is this expensive? Is it costing me any money? It's actually not costing me anything. Alright, so it's a nice big thick bus lane that goes all the way down. Now, one of the roads I accidentally converted. I want to convert that back. This one. Alright, good. Now, sometimes I see regular cars using those bus lanes. I think that's because they'll want to pull into their own house and stuff. I think that's why. But otherwise it should only be buses and taxis and public service vehicles. And we can then actually set our own rules if we really wanted to. We could say vehicle restrictions and say like, you know, trucks could use that, or city service vehicles should only use the edges or something like that as well. So that'd be kind of interesting actually. You could do that. Let's click this. We could say like, yeah, garbage. Well, I'll leave it. I don't want to get too granular with it, but maybe in between episodes again, that'd be something I could configure. But what we could do is say buses should never use the middle, ever. Because sometimes I notice that they do that as well. They're like not behaving the way they should. So we'll just tell buses not to use the middle lanes, always use the external lanes. Sometimes flipping around on me, I guess, depending on the direction of the road. Alright. Now, I admit, it is a little weird having a bus lane next to houses, isn't it? I guess. But it is a more densely packed... Well, actually, it's not that weird. Thinking about an estate I live near, this actually is a bus lane outside houses. Okay. Did I do that all the way? Let's just double check. I forgot to do this side, sorry. There we go. So that's that done. So that's just one road. That's one example. Now, I'm trying to plot out where this route is going to be. The bus depot is going to be in here. Buses will come out. And then we have to just decide where these routes are going to go. Let's just do it now. I don't know why I'm waiting around. So, oh, we don't have any money for it yet. Alright, it's time to sell. Sell these cakes. So we're at 96 tons. Let's empty this bad boy out. In the US alone, 2.5 million plastic bottles are thrown out every hour. Alright, all our... Oh, look at it go. So many. So good. Alright, we'll tell them to fill again. Yeah, and these guys are now up to nearly 200,000. That's their capacity, so they're sort of full again. I wonder what our landfill is like. Landfill's down to 22%, so we'll just switch that off again for a bit. Let them burn through some of the recycling. It might be the case that we'll need another recycling center soon. Or we could relocate and build another landfill further out. Yeah, so while we're waiting for all that, let's just keep thinking about where these routes are going to be. So ultimately, you got to think about, well, I think that you have to think about where you need to move people around to. Ultimately, a lot of people are going to want to go to the library, the commercial district here, some of the service buildings maybe, medical clinic and that kind of thing. Although, I guess the medical goes to them and then brings them back. So I guess that's not really a big concern, but the tourism as well. So this is a nice long road that can collect people. People will walk to the bus a pretty good distance, but it'd be good to collect them a little bit more spaced out as well, and then overlap them. So certainly this road needs to find a way to get to this commercial district for sure, and then a different bus route needs to collect people in here and bring them out to Franklin Heights. So that's ultimately what we got to do. A really cool situation I have near where I live as well is there's a bus lane like this that goes into a roundabout, but the bus lane goes straight through the roundabout, which is really cool. And it's just the bus lane that gets to do that, and they have lights here obviously, so when the lights are green they just go straight plowing through, and everyone's like waiting at the roundabout to kind of merge onto it. Always loved riding the bus when you're actually doing that. I don't know why, it just feels cool. Alright, we're up to 47,000. We just sold, I think I saw 16,000 get sold. We should see a lot more over the next coming days. There we go, 63. The money is piling up. So I'll go back down to normal speed now. Let's put down our bus depot. Bus depot, biofuel bus depot, compact bus station. It serves as a hub for bus lines, place bus stops at the... Is this the same as this one? Electricity is 800 kilowatts. This one is 480. 208 water, 320. This seems just better. Upkeep is the same. It just costs more. Bus depot automatically sends out buses for your bus lines. Is that what this does? Place bus stops at the bus station to let passengers easily transfer on the journey throughout the city. I think it's the same thing, right? It doesn't say it sends out buses, but I assume it does, because I'm just a bit confused because it says bus station. It's a hub for bus lines. Okay, I'm not certain about it, so I'll maybe use this one instead. Biofuel bus depot. Biofuel buses are quiet, more quiet than regular buses, carry just as many people. Alright, let's do that then. Let's go biofuel. $9.60 a week instead of $7.20. And I'll start on the edge. First biofuel buses have arrived. So now what we got to do is actually build the lines. So we can see one of our bus routes here, or not route, but one of the lines that we can start making. So yeah, I don't know. We want to kind of start somewhere central actually. Well, we know that they're going to get dropped off at the plaza. So here, this commercial district. And maybe a stop before the turn. And then we're going to curl around up this way. Yeah, they'll walk to it. I think that's okay. Another stop in here, I think, would be good. And then we could just, like, close this loop, maybe. Or it could go all the way down to Franklin Heights. Actually, yeah, let's bring it to Franklin Heights. Why not? Add a stop there. And then it could come back out this way. Pick up people or drop them off to this commerce district. Take the main arterial road back. Where do we have to get to now? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't want it going that way. I wanted to use the arterial road, so I think I have to put a stop in if I wanted to do that. I don't know if there's any other way to guide it otherwise. Now that was a particularly busy road we saw before, but hopefully it'll be okay. Alright, complete the line. That is a fairly big line, but that'll be our first one. So what we can do now is say, I'm going to call this the blue line. And it'll be blue. And we can choose the type of bus it is. Actually, it has to be a biofuel one because we built a biofuel thing. So biofuel bus, capacity 30, 40, or 75. Let's start off with the 30s and see how it goes. Got 10 stops on their journey, and we'll follow it around. These first ones as they come out. So there's the vehicle count modifier. We've got 9 vehicles that are going to be moving out during the day for this, day and night. And it should take the bus lanes that we've provided for them. It is interesting. I guess they're going to... Okay. I suppose they're on this side of the road, so because of that, yeah. Right, what I might do to ease that... I mean, that's not really a problem, but it kind of is. I'll do this instead, and that way they can go straight out. Doesn't change the routes or anything, it just means the next buses that come out will go that way. So all these buses are going to float out at the same time, but it should eventually slow down and ease, like spread out a bit more over time. Now, something I love doing is actually just using the infographic like this, and then you can see how many people are waiting based on the color they are. So we can see we've got 2 people waiting here, waiting to go on their little journey. I will just speed up time to watch our buses get there for the first time now. So I guess this is the first stop, right? Is the commercial district. Now, let's see. Are they using their line? They are. How good is that for traffic? Now, because we've just upgraded this road, I think what we need to do is also give it priority, right? So we'll say that this should be a yield. Sorry. Yeah. And we'll need that in a few spots. Because this is the priority road. So anyone coming onto it. Sorry, my phone went off. There we go. Alright, good. So, yeah. Got our yield signs in. Now, obviously, we can go around and do more bus lanes. I think we need to follow that route with the bus lanes road if we wanted to, but they're going to be totally backed up now because all the buses have come out at the same time. But they should spread out. Maybe we should lower that down until the need is greater. That would probably make a bit more sense. Look at the money, though. Holy crap. We made so much money from those pastries. So let's go to our budget panel. And public buses are here. So I'll just lower this down to, yeah, just go 50%. Just half it for now. And we'll see how we do with that. So some of these buses are going to return once they complete their journey, I think. And if we click lines overview, we can actually see in here how many people are waiting. So there's 27 people waiting at one of the stops. 117 waiting over at this one. This is a popular stop. Holy crap. There you go. And that's at the commercial district outside of Franklin Heights. So you can tell a lot of people obviously want to make it further into the city or into the town out from that way. Yeah, super popular stop. Right outside of Game Nonstop. I look forward to seeing these guys getting picked up. That's like that's what I'm waiting for now, really. And it's going to be nighttime by the time they get picked up. There we go. Alright, where's the nearest bus? It's starting to go up and around, finally. At some point, yeah, I feel like this would need to connect into there. And that way they could go straight up and around and get onto the outer roads, which are a bit faster. There we go. Bunch of people getting on, some people getting off. Interestingly, there's only one route. Oh, is the bus full? Oh, it is. The bus is full. That's good to see. Yeah, bus is super full. Alright, let's go line details again. Can I do line details without... Yeah, there we go. So where are we? I have no idea where we are. I think we're the #1 bus, yeah. So we're coming up to Franklin Heights. We're already too full for it, though. But there will be buses with some room on them soon. Alright, here we are. In the dead of night. Ideally, probably just letting out more people, really, than anything. Yeah, there they go. Look at it. They're loving it. 30 out, 30 in. On the blue line. Cool. So yeah, we'll give it some time. I think they'll obviously need 1 or 2 more buses on this for sure. We don't want people waiting around too long, but that's going to be making us money as well, which is nice. Not that we need it now. We're rich. But we do have room for more growth, so let's go during the night. Big residential demand. There is power lines there, so that one's a bit of an awkward one to paint. Alright, something like that. I'm not saying there's much logic to how I'm zoning, but I can always just remove the corner houses if they look weird, I guess. Sometimes it's good to just paint it in, then see if it looks good, and then if it doesn't, then remove it. You know what? We're going to fill out this area again with something else. So, yeah, there's still lots of room for more commerce, so I was thinking we could do another tourism building, like the cafes we have, but there's also a restaurant building. And maybe a car park would be good, a big one. Or 2 small ones or something. So let's see what this looks like. The sidewalk restaurant. See, it's pretty big. What did they say? That sidewalk restaurant really spices up the neighborhood. Part-time pizza. So there's different variations. It's a bit more modern. And a bit in between. I like the pizza one. It kind of, the bricks are similar to this. Kind of. Grab your pizza, do a bit of shopping, enjoy the plaza. You know, get your pharmacy goods, whatever it might be. Read up at the library. Perfect. So, the car park would be nice to put down as well. This one's massive. Multi-story car park, huge. It would be great to put this in, but put it sideways. But the only way I could do that is if I bring one road in. And I don't know if I can on such a small bit of road, but let's see. Yeah, I think the minimum I can come in is 3. Which is a shame, even using Anarchy. Because it would fit pretty nicely there. But I tell you what, this road isn't, this path isn't needed anymore because this comes with a path baked into it. So if we grab a path from here and we just connect it. There we go, that's good. So it looks like there's extra space there, but there isn't. That's so good, we can still put something there at some point. Just, it'll have to be something small, 2 by whatever. Coal power plant. Yeah, let's see. What else could we maybe put in? Big car park, even just temporarily on the side, or 2 small ones here. And then we could put something bigger in this way. We could obviously just zone it. Although it's got a lot of space in there, so it would be nice to use that space with something else. Although I don't know if you ever can, because the weird thing with that, yeah, is that it doesn't count as space that you can actually put anything on, unless it had a road going in. It would need a road going in like this. Or like this, just going straight to there. And then it would fit stuff either side. Maybe you would need that. It's just a lot of junctions though. Yeah, I'm not 100% sold on those car parks. We'll leave them there for now, but I feel like they'll probably have to move at some point. Now, I assume this road means there's no parking by default, right? Yeah, there's no potential parking on that road. Alright, cool. Let's have a look again at our bus lane, just as a final thing. It says currently 19 per week. We have to wait for a full week to pass to see how many it's really using, but I'm sure it's more than that. Yeah, the buses are all totally full. I mean, that's a great success to see that they're all full, so we'll increase the budget. Let some extra ones roll out. During the day, we'll double it. During the night, we'll leave it as is. There they go. More buses for the blue line. And they're going another way entirely. Again, where are you going? Are you going out that way? Oh, makes sense. Sorry, I had two of the same song playing at the same time. Alright, some of these guys didn't have their water given to them just yet. Alright, pretty good. We're up to 6,000 now. So we grew 1,000 population in total. We provided our first transport service. And if we look at traffic, we're still at 81%. The flow rate is the same. But it'll take a little bit of time to really see the full effects, I think, from the bus service and how it's going. The idea would be that we should be cutting down on traffic coming into this area, but who knows? Maybe this needs to be a 4-lane at some point as well. A road like that wouldn't be a terrible idea to beef it up. Not just to be a 4-lane, but to be actually a thicker arterial road that goes through the town into the commercial area. Something like that, maybe. The idea of leaving this area so empty was to make it a national park in the future. So I'm thinking the boundaries of this park would be, just as an example, something like this. Like something like that. Maybe a bit smaller than that. Probably just bring it in to about there. And that could be quite a cool little park for them to kind of go to. So yeah, not 100% sure, but that was the idea. You could use the nature reserve type park as well. Alright, cool. So yeah, I think that's going to have to be it for this episode. I think it was pretty good. I was surprised that we saw... Oh my god, the amount of parking here is insane. Surprised that the buses are being so utilized so early. I put down bus lines before and it's just like nobody uses it for like ages. So I guess I did a decent route if they're actually being in such high demand. There's a huge demand at this stop. Absolutely huge. And I guess if you want to get more granular, you can be like, where are you going? You know, where do these people want to go when they get out? And just follow roughly where they're trying to get to. But I'm sure it's people all the way, and you can look at the line and just follow it for quite a while and see how many people are getting out at like which stops. I imagine a lot of people will be getting out here, and probably just as it goes a bit further back. And then you can also see how many people walk to get the bus. So that's cool. Alright, that's going to have to be it for this episode. Leave your suggestions below, as always. I try to implement them whenever I can. And especially for things, for buildings and things that I may have missed and things I don't know about a bit further into the game. So always keep the feedback coming. Appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.